this to me is the most predictable economic crisis we have ever had as a country. Most of our economic crises pop up on us, unforeseen, like the Great Recession, when the mortgage markets melted down, or COVID. This is predictable. And it's not as if the rest of the world is going to keep floating our bonds at cheap prices if they don't think we're going to get our debt under control. If the world concludes that America is going to print money to pay its debts, then we're not going to have these kind of exorbitant lower interest rates. Dollar dominance will be lost, and bad things will happen to the American people.
Yeah.
So the driver of our debt, regrettably, though, is it's all those programs that are on autopilot. On we call it mandatory spending. It's our social contract.
Right.
There's a good news in this story, though. The good news in the good news, bad news stories. The bad news is our debt is getting out of control. It's growing very fast because boomers are retiring, and it's starting. The markets will start to conclude we're not going to pay our debt back without monetizing our debt. And we'll have a spike in yields in the bond markets. We'll have high interest rates and a recession, if not something worse than that.
Yeah.
Good news is, I think politically, and I know you want to talk about political polarization, but there's one thing that I don't think is that polarizing, because you see the populists on both sides of the party, saying that they want the social contract. Right. And I believe everyone does. What I mean when I say the social contract, I think Republicans and Democrats, we litigated this a lot in the 20th century. The jury is in on the American voter and on the political parties. We like the social contract. What is the American social contract? Health and retirement security for all Americans and a safety net for the poor.
Yeah.
And we want that. But the problem is, this was written in the 20th century, in the 1930s, in the 1960s,
right,
in ways that have proven to be unsustainable fiscally in the 21st century, because they're demographically driven. And we're going from 40 million retirees to 77 million retirees, and those benefits increase 6 to 8% a year. You compound that out, and therein lies your debt crisis.
Yeah.
The good news in this bad news story is we've learned a lot how to better run health and retirement securities, health and retirement programs, how to wire the safety net for the poor for upward mobility. We've learned so much more in our private economy about how to better manage these things, that if only we could apply those lessons to the management of these programs, we could still serve the benefit. We could still meet the mission of the social contract, maintain the social contract for the 21st century without bankrupting the country and having a debt crisis.